ounces.
Well, Arrest has some very, very classy form indeed. Second in the St Ledger, a winner at this meeting last year. Let's find out if his co-trainer, John Gosden, fancies his chances today.
John, Arrest looks incredibly spot on today, looks very fit. What about coming back to Chester in these conditions?
Well, I think you've touched on the point there. Last year when he won the Vase, it was very heavy, and it's dried up considerably. From yesterday it was perfect good ground, but today it's gone on the good to firm in places, and I think he's the kind of horse that might not be his total scene. I mean, I'm not saying it's jarring, but to let himself go, he probably needs more juice in the ground. So we'll see how we go, and then we'll be looking for those summer thunderstorms. It's odd, isn't it, having rained all spring and winter, to be actually talking about the ground drying up.
At Chester of all places.
Yes, well, normally not here, in the river bottom of the River Dee.
Yeah, with him though, are you expecting him to progress fitness-wise from Newbury?
Oh yeah, the trouble was he had a wide draw, and then he was out there early, a little bit fresh. Then they started the race 4 furlongs out, so that wasn't going to work. No, he's in great order, but I just wish we were racing on yesterday's ground properly.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck anyway. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's a concern then, the ground maybe not in his favour. So who is it in the favour of, Jamie?
It's in the favour of Al-Sakib, for one, who, if this were a handicap, he'd be getting £10 off Arrest, £12 off Point Lonsdale, but as we discussed in our preview earlier, he is the one horse who just seems to be in the right place at the right time, and that might count for something more than pure weights and measures.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, Andrew Balding's won this a couple of times, so he can find the right kind of horse. Deauville Legend was getting warm, Fred, but that apparently is him.
Okay, fair enough. Interesting thing about him is they're trying new headgear with him today. He's got the blinkers replacing the cheek pieces. He hasn't been
A helping hand to keep count? Or timeouts? Well, everyone needs a half-time break. Simple ways to stay on top of your game with Betfair.
Well, Jamie, a small field, a tactical affair?
Yeah, very much so. We saw in the D Stakes how taking control of the race can determine the outcome. And with this, Fred, it's interesting, isn't it? Because Point Lonsdale, on the one hand, you say, is he going to stay the trip? But on the other hand, Ryan's going to want to make the race test finishing speed rather than stamina. Are the others going to let him just get away with that?
Could be the possible thing here, yes. One thing about him is that's his first time ever going this far.
Yeah.
His best form was over 10 furlongs. He is an uncomplicated ride, that is for sure. And as we saw, Ryan most certainly knows how to ride this track, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's the pace angle.
Well, there is Al-Sakib going forward. Oisin Murphy slotting into the widest draw. Is that a problem here, Jamie, in a small field?
Less so, I think, in the shape of this course and distance, and this field size as well. Al-Sakib will be in the market for picking up pieces. I think the most interesting ride here is Kieran Schumacher on Arrest, because he can't let Ryan dictate, and he needs to get Arrest's revs up for the stamina to kick in. So even though this might be a weaker Ormonde than we used to, it's a thrilling and complex tactical puzzle.
Well, Arrest will complete the line. As he does, here's Mike.
He's in. They're all ready now, 6 runners. And off and racing. And a nice level break as well here for the Tote.co.uk supporting Racing Ormonde Stakes. Point Lonsdale got away to a good start. Not quite as good as L'Astronome, who seems happy to be taking them along. But Ryan Moore has got Point Lonsdale just settled in behind him. And then wider out, Deauville Legend in the hands of Danny Muscat, who's well up there to the fore as well. Enemy at this stage is a couple of lengths behind them, racing in 4th place. And a break of 3 back to Arrest. And Al-Sakib the Grey in the hands of Oisin Murphy as the runners move down now towards the turn, which brings them into the home straight for the first time, and Deauville Legend has taken over. He'll bring. Good to see him back on the track, Deauville legend. Point Lonsdale is in second place, just ahead then of the red jacket on the inside of L'Astronome. L'Astronome, in fact, now moving up to clear second. Point Lonsdale and Ryan in third. 2 lengths back to Enemy and Arrest, with only about a bob of the heads between those two as they pass us with a circuit to go. And Alsa Kim looking